Donald Trump deployed National Guard troops on August the 12th. This morning, at a press conference, President Trump said, no homicides in D.C. for 11 straight days since his crackdown. More than 400 arrests in 11 days. "22 teams were deployed across D.C., nearly 2,000 officers working together." Get this. Robbery has dropped 46%. Carjackings have dropped 83%. Violent crime overall down 22%. Of the 400 plus arrests, get this, over 160 were illegal aliens. We're not just talking about people that overstayed their visas. Gang members, people charged with assault, with burglary, with drug dealing. Oh, and by the way, they grabbed 59 illegal guns off the streets. I thought the left was opposed to illegal guns being on the streets. By the way, the Fraternal Order of Police have accused D.C. of manipulating its crime stats to make it not appear so violent. So felonies have often been reduced to misdemeanors to improve their crime stats. So it probably was even worse than before. Listen to Stephen Miller, number 28.
Steve Miller, please say a few words.
Thank you, sir. So just to, first of all, follow up on what the Vice President said, no police officer working in the city can remember a time in their lives when there has been no murders. You can work at the police department for 20 years, 30 years, your whole life. We've checked the records. No one can even find a record of being murder-free for as long as we've been murder-free under President Trump's leadership. Additionally, and the President spoke about this before, we've uncovered, in the process of uncovering, a massive scandal in Washington, D.C. with the doctoring of crime stats. And the Department of Justice, under the Attorney General, is leading the effort to uncover this. But when we ultimately share the results, it will stun you. The extent to which, even though D.C. had the worst crime in America, honestly measured, it dramatically understated how bad it was. There's even accusations that murders and homicides were reported as accidents instead of murders. I mean, this is how severe the manipulation of the crime data has been in this city, and it will all be uncovered and it will all be brought to light. You know, I've had a chance to spend some time, as has everyone here, with the police officers in the city. Members of the public are going up to them and thanking them, just overflowing with gratitude, because for the first time in their lives, they can use the parks, they can walk on the streets. You have people who can walk freely at night without having to worry about being robbed or mugged. They're wearing their watches again. They're wearing jewelry again. They're carrying purses again. People had changed their whole lives in this city for fear of being murdered, mugged, and carjacked. It is a literal statement that President Trump has freed 700,000 people in this city who were living under the rule of criminals and thugs. And the last thing I'll say is that under the efforts of Terry, to my left and many here, what they found also is that the street criminals here in Washington, D.C. were doing business directly with the transnational criminal cartels, the foreign terrorist organizations. So not only was the city being run by these criminal thugs, but they were working with some of the most dangerous terrorist organizations on the planet to traffic weapons and drugs into this city. And what we are uncovering every day is shocking to us, and we look forward to sharing all the results with you. But President Trump, your leadership has uncovered some of the great public safety scandals of our life, and now because of you, people are safe and free for the first time ever in this city.
Now, if this can happen in Washington, D.C., then why can't it happen in Chicago? Why can't it happen in New York? Why can't it happen in Los Angeles? And if you hate Donald Trump's guts, why would you not want crime to go down in your city? Why would you not want thugs removed from the city? Why would you not want to be able to walk around freely without fear that you're going to be mugged? And if it can happen that dramatically over that short a period of time, what does it tell you about the soft on crime policies that are in places like LA and like San Francisco and like Chicago and like New York? It means you are living in an area that is unsafe by design, by bad policy enacted by your city's leaders. You should be infuriated, even if you hate Donald Trump's guts. The number one job of government is to protect people and property. And what Donald Trump's deployment of the National Guard in D.C. tells you, that these cities that are governed by Democrats are not doing their number one job. It ought to anger you. And when you consider in Washington, D.C., a lot of the staffers, people that work for the Hill, that work for the Senate, that work for the House, live in an area called Navy Yard, which is in walking distance of where they work. National Review listed a number of things that have happened in terms of crime by people who work on the Hill. March 2023, a man named Philip Todd, a staffer for Rand Paul, was stabbed in broad daylight by a repeat offender who was hearing voices in his head. This offender was released from prison just one day before he attacked the staffer, who suffered a punctured lung, by the way, and a suspected brain bleed. June 2023, a staffer for Congressman Brad Finstad, a Republican in Minnesota, attacked at gunpoint by two hooded suspects after the annual congressional charity baseball game. October 2023, a staffer for Henry Cuellar, Democrat from Texas, carjacked at gunpoint outside his Navy Yard home. I'm just getting warmed up.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.